Good morning to all of you. We continue with the next video on multi-dimensional arrays. So now again we take a quick look over the what is a multi-dimensional array. So multi-dimensional, as you have seen in the previous video and the questions we practiced. What is multi-dimensional array? Nothing else but it is an array of an array and another array. When you combine this, it becomes a multi-dimensional array. Dimensions, now row and column becomes the dimension. If 3D array you take, then ijk, 3 loops will be used. So it's a multi-dimensional array. The best example of a multi-dimensional array is a 2D array. It's a simplest of the multi-dimensional array. Here you need to, in the single dimensional you had a one dimension I, only row wise you had practiced it. Now you have to add an extra dimension here, j also. In 2D, I and j, 2 dimensions are used. One is for the row and another one is for the columns. So this is what a dimension is. Now you have to always remember the mapping. As at that day I said the mapping, because it is in a tabular format now. The index has 2 values, I and j values, both 2 values are there. In single dimensional you had only 1 values, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. But now if you go in a 2D arrays, you have 2 dimensions, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 or 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. So you have to remember which element you are going to pick and what is the index will be. So to know the index you must know what is the row, the intersection, where the meeting point, the cell which is formed, and that index number you should be able to recognize it. And so it's we can simply take it as a intersection of rows and column, wherever the intersection of rows and column. So what will be the row number and what will be the column number, where they meet it, that is your index value. That will be the index value, and that value will be picked up. As I said, it's just similar to as the naming of the cells in the MS Excel. Columns and rows, there are columns and rows, you likewise it is. So today we are going to practice it out again. We are going to write 2-3 programs with the double dimensional array. Remember, the things remain same. What you have to do with the array, you have to get a size, you have to get an array declaration second. Thirdly, you have to fill the elements in an array. Fourth one, you have to apply the logic, what the logic is to be. And then the fifth one, you need to display the arrays, or you need to display the value what's been asked in the question. According to that only you have to perform the things. So let's proceed on, keeping these 5 things in our mind for solving the array questions. These 5 things we will keep in mind, and then we follow on with the programs. So today we will move on with the simplest of the programs, so that you come across and you are used to with the 2D arrays, and then only we will be moving on. And in class 10 the syllabus is very small for the 2D. We are not going with that very much difficult program. Simple programs will be asked. It's an introduction only with the 2-dimensional array. So we will be solving simple programs with the 2-dimensional array. Thank you. Let's proceed to the questions. So let's move on with the programs. Web to input, 2D array of of size m and n, or m into n, to calculate the sum of even elements and the product of odd elements. Sum of even elements and product of odd elements. So here we go. Import java.util.strict class abc void main and scanner sc equals to new scanner system dot in so what you require, we require an I, then j loop, we require m, we require n, we require a sum, we require a product. Sum is set to be 0, product is set to be 1, and then here we go. Supplement, enter the row size m equals to sc dot x time t method, supplement, enter the column size m equals to sc dot next time t method, create an array, int array equals to new int m. You got the two arrays mn. Now element entry for I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, for j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Is it? Now get the element entry. Enter the elements a of I j equals to sc dot next int method. So till now we have followed the three things which I had out of 3 things which we have followed. First we have got the size, declared the array, element entry is over. Now we need to implement the logic, so we move on with the logic. So for I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, for j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Now what do you have to do? We need to find whether if it is a even element, then we need to find the sum of the even elements. So if a of I j not 2 equals to 0, then sum equals to sum plus a of I j. Anyways, product equals to p into a of I j. J loop close, outer for close, then the fifth one display, supplement. Sum of even elements plus s product of odd elements plus P, main close, class close. This is what is finding the sum of even and odd elements. Hope so. Easy one. Now let's move out to find the smallest and greatest element present in two-dimensional array. If an array is given of size mn, find the smallest and greatest element present in it. So we have to create a 2D array of size m and n, 2 and m and n, and find out the smallest and greatest element present in it. You need to find out the smallest and greatest element present in it. Is it? So again import java.util.string class abc void main. Scanner sc equals to new scanner system dot in. So we require int I, j, m, n. We require a small, we require a greatest. Small 0, greatest 0. Alright. And supplement. Enter the size, row size. M equals to sc dot. Next empty method. Enter the column size. N equals to sc dot. Next empty method. Now declare an array. Int array equals to new int mn. Now element entry is required for I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Enter the elements. A of I j equals to sc dot. Next int method. J loop closed, I loop closed. So yeah, we will consider the first element as the smallest and first element as the greatest. So small equals to a of 0, 0, and greatest equals to a of 0, 0. Alright, now we go for the logic of it. So for I equals to 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. If the element which you have picked, a of ij, is less than small, is it? Then small equals to a of ij. If the element which we have picked is more than the greatest, then G equals to A of ij. इनर फॉर लूप क्लोज्ड, आउटर फॉर क्लोज्ड। जो एलिमेंट पिक किया है वो अगर स्मॉल से छोटा है, स्मॉल हमने कंसिडर किया फर्स्ट एलिमेंट को, छोटा है तो स्मॉल वो हो जाएगा, या फिर जो एलिमेंट हमने पिक किया वो ग्रेटेस्ट से भी बड़ा है तो ग्रेटेस्ट चेंज हो जाएगा। ठीक है, तो एलिमेंट के हिसाब से जो कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई करेगी उसके हिसाब से वो बदल जाया करेगा। तो इससे हमको पूरे जितने एरे एलिमेंट्स हैं अवेलेबल उनमें से सारे ट्रेवर्सिंग होगा एक एक इंडेक्स वाइज, रो कॉलम, पहले रो वाइज चलेगा, 0th रो का पूरा जितने कॉलम है उसको मीट कर लेगा, फिर रो 1 हो जाएगा, रो में जितना होगा रो 1 में जितने कॉलम है उसके एलिमेंट देख लेगा, फिर रो 2 हो जाएगा, फिर रो 2 के जितने भी कॉलम एलिमेंट है उनको चेक कर लेगा। दिस इज हाउ इट गोस। नाउ यू नीड टू प्रिंट इट आउट। So smallest element is plus s, system.out.println greatest element is plus g, main close, class close, you got the greatest. So what you have done here, so you got the I, J, M, N, set those smallest and greatest to 0, got the size, 2 sizes, got the array, and then this is the element entry, is it? And here comes the logic. में हमने क्या किया, स्मॉलेस्ट को पहला एलिमेंट, ग्रेटेस्ट को भी एरे का पहला एलिमेंट, दिस इज ए है ना, ए एलिमेंट का पहला है उसको पकड़ लिया, एंड नाउ रन फॉर ए रो कॉलम, फाइंड द स्मॉलेस्ट एंड ग्रेटेस्ट हियर, एंड देन यू हैव टू प्रिंट दैट थिंग्स आउट देयर. This is how in the next video we will be solving some matrix questions, and hope so you find it easy. Work out, trace it out. One thing is, I will always ask you to run the loops ij, trace it out, so that you get the indexing, you know the places where what is to be done. Thank you.